There is a small chapel in northern Ethiopia with an iron fence around it. No tourist has ever been inside. No archaeologist, no president, no king, no pope. One man lives behind that fence, a monk chosen for life. He will never leave the courtyard, and until the day he dies, his only duty is to guard the object inside. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church says that object is the Ark of the Covenant, the gold-covered chest built at Mount Sinai, the container of the 10 Commandments, the most powerful and most feared object in the Bible, an object that entire empires, armies, and centuries of explorers have searched for and that vanished from history 2,600 years ago, without a single recorded word about where it went. Here is what makes this mystery different from every other lost treasure. If the Ethiopian claim is true, the Ark isn't lost at all. It's sitting in a small stone room behind an iron fence, and we are simply not allowed to look. This is the story of what we actually know about the Ark of the Covenant, what we don't, and the one man alive who might know the answer and will never tell. To understand why people have searched for 3,000 years, you have to understand what the texts actually describe. The book of Exodus gives the blueprint in strange detail. A chest of acacia wood about the size of a sea trunk, covered in pure gold inside and out. 2 golden angels, cherubim, facing each other across the lid and carrying poles that were never to be removed, because no human hand was permitted to touch the ark itself. This was not treated as a treasure, it was treated as something closer to a reactor core. The accounts describe it leading armies, rivers stopping, the walls of a fortified city, Jericho, collapsing after the ark was carried around them for 7 days. When enemies captured it, the texts say plagues broke out in every city that held it until they sent it back on a cart without a driver. And when one of its own handlers, a man named Uzzah, reached out to steady it as it tipped, he was struck dead on the spot. Whether you read these stories as history, as legend, or as something in between, one thing is clear. The people who wrote them were describing an object they were terrified of. King Solomon built the first temple in Jerusalem essentially as a container for it. The ark sat in a windowless inner room, the Holy of Holies, behind a thick curtain. One man, the high priest, entered that room 1 day a year, alone. For nearly 4 centuries, that curtain was the border between the ark and the world. And then, the world came for it. In 587 BC, the Babylonian army broke through the walls of Jerusalem. The city fell, the temple was stripped and burned to the ground. And here is where the mystery truly begins. The Bible's own scribes recorded the looting with the precision of an inventory list. The bronze pillars, taken, the basins, the shovels, the lampstands, the bowls, item by item, weight by weight, all of it written down. The Ark of the Covenant, the single most important object in the entire building. Mobiri is not on the list, not recorded as taken, not recorded as destroyed, not recorded at all. The most documented sacking in the Old Testament simply never mentions it, which means one of 2 things. Either the ark was already gone before the Babylonians arrived, or someone hid it in the final days and died with the secret. The theories began almost immediately, and they have never stopped. An ancient Jewish text claims the prophet Jeremiah carried it out and sealed it in a cave on a mountain, location deliberately unrecorded, until God gathers his people again. Others point to an Egyptian pharaoh who raided the temple's treasures 3 centuries earlier. Some believe it never left Jerusalem at all, that it rests in a sealed chamber somewhere beneath the Temple Mount, which happens to be the single most religiously contested piece of ground on earth. No one can excavate there. Not now. Very possibly. Not ever. A locked room under a site no one is allowed to unlock. But the boldest claim of all points somewhere else entirely. In the mountains of northern Ethiopia stands the ancient city of Axum, once the capital of one of the 4 great empires of the ancient world. And Ethiopia's national epic, the Kebra Nagast, the Glory of Kings, tells a story that has been held as truth there for centuries, that the Queen of Sheba's son, Menelik, fathered by King Solomon himself, traveled to Jerusalem as a young man and came home with the ark, not stolen by an enemy, taken by an heir, generations before Babylon ever reached Jerusalem, which would explain neatly why the Babylonian loot lists never mention it. According to the tradition, the ark has been in Ethiopia ever since, and today it rests in Axum, in the chapel of the tablet beside the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. This is where the story stops being ancient, because the chapel is real, the fence is real, and the guardian is real. One monk, chosen by his predecessor, serves for life. He never leaves the grounds. He prays before the object daily. He is the only living person permitted to see it. No outside scholar has ever been allowed to examine what is inside. And here is a detail that makes Ethiopia's claim impossible to simply dismiss. Every single Ethiopian Orthodox Church, all of them across the entire country, keeps a replica of the Ark's tablets at its heart. The entire faith is built around the conviction that the original is theirs. One European scholar claimed to have glimpsed the object during the 1940s and said it was a later replica, not the ancient Ark. The Church's answer has never changed. Believe what you like. The Ark does not need your verification. The door stays shut. Which brings us to the question underneath every version of this story. Everyone assumes the mystery of the Ark is about where it is. But look at the pattern. In Jerusalem, it sat behind a curtain no one could pass. In the legends, it killed those who touched it. In Ethiopia, it sits behind a fence no one may cross, guarded by a man who will die without speaking. 3,000 years, 3 different civilizations, and in every single one, the Ark is defined by the same rule. You do not get to look. Maybe that is a real answer to why it was never found. An object whose entire power, religious, political, historical, depends on remaining unseen, is an object no one who holds it will ever reveal. Proof would end the mystery, and ending the mystery would break the spell. The Ark survives because it is sealed. The moment anyone opens the box, it becomes just a box. Tonight, in Axum, the chapel light is on. Somewhere behind that fence, an old man is keeping the same watch his predecessors kept, passing the same secret forward, one lifetime at a time. Perhaps he guards the greatest lost object in human history. Perhaps he guards an empty room, or a medieval copy, or something no one has guessed. Only one living person knows, and he has already decided to tell no one. The door is closed, the watch continues, and this archive remains sealed.